Hey, what's up, mortals? Zigzag here, and welcome to part 3 of What If the Rooftop Fight Wasn't Interrupted. This story is by our writer AxleBoost, and its official title is Beyond the Mend. Axel has given us permission to use it on the channel, and links to the original fanfiction postings will be in the description. This video is sponsored by Skillshare. With the services Skillshare provides, you can access many in-depth tutorial videos on basically anything you want to learn. Each class that they have is bound to help you with your creative endeavors. Do you want to learn how to make videos like this one? Do you need to know how to write scripts or edit audio? Skillshare has you covered. With our link, you can access a 14-day free trial. So, what are you waiting for? Click the link now and get 14 days worth of classes for free. Link is in the description below. As always, I want to greet you all by inviting you to sit back and relax. You're in for a treat.
Well,
growled a rumbling voice from within Naruto's subconscious.
Is the pathetic brat finally giving up?
Huh? Naruto gasped, and his eyes snapped open to behold a vast space around him. The room was partitioned by a cage. Long, sturdy bars separated him from a gargantuan beast on the other side. It's you!
Yes, Naruto.
The nine-tailed fox cooed.
It's me again. Surprised.
Naruto frowned and didn't reply. A discerning blood-red eye observed him from above. The nine-tail's dark snout let out a powerful breath, causing his coat of orange fur to sway like blades of grass in the wind.
Unlike those two teachers of yours, I always show up when I'm needed.
Shut up! Naruto rejected in an unconvincing tone. You don't know what you're talking about!
Don't I?
The beast chuckled, reveling in his host's current state of brokenness.
Do you not want the pain to stop?
No response was required. They both knew he had hit the mark.
That's what I thought. You know what to do, don't you, boy?
No! No! Naruto covered his head with his hands, turning away and wishing he were anywhere else.
Remove the seal and let me make it all go away. I can help you, brat. You need only let me.
The fox's deep, resonant voice had a sleekness to it. Temptation licked at Naruto's heels, despite his knowledge of everything wrong with the proposition. If he were honest, a part of him would have loved to accept the offer. Allowing someone else to take on the burden that was his existence looked like an amazing solution to his current predicament. That wasn't something he could let himself consider, though. While he didn't know much about the Nine-Tails, Naruto did know one thing for sure. The fox didn't care about his village, his friends, or anyone for that matter. If he became responsible for releasing that kind of unchecked power into the world, he would prove himself to be even more horrible of a person than he already felt like. He'd ruined enough lives as it was. Far be it from him to add to that list. No! Naruto said with a tremble in his voice. Another low growl from the enormous fox rattled the bars of its cage. The resulting vibrations reverberated across the entire chamber. Naruto could have sworn he felt his brain jiggle around inside his head. He caught himself before plunging face first into the water, bracing his fall with both arms. He came face to face with none other than his own reflection. The fear-stricken visage, reflected back at Naruto, made him gasp. Knowing he was a mess right now was one thing. Seeing what he let himself become was another. He knew what he had to do. Finding the strength to face the massive beast was no easy task. Naruto was tired, scared, and confused. The Nine-Tails lived for those moments when he was at his weakest. However, the Leaf's #1 hyperactive knucklehead ninja would die before giving the Nine-Tailed Fox the satisfaction of seeing him break. His mind made up at last, Naruto shook his head. No deal, you stupid fox! Shining red eyes turned to slits. The fox observed the boy in silence.
Very well. You can refuse me for now, but don't play dumb, kid.
A sinister chuckle echoed throughout the cavernous confines of Naruto's inner world, rattling his bones.
We both know you can't accomplish anything yourself. Sooner or later, you'll turn to my power again.
The creature's intimidating figure shrank back into the darkness, making the space behind the bars of its cage appear empty. Naruto took in a deep breath before turning and walking away. He made an unspoken promise to himself. Come hell or high water, he would prove the Nine Tails wrong. Kakashi landed with a sigh on the path leading to his apartment. He would usually have been visiting the memorial at the Leaf Village Cemetery about now. Downtime was a luxury these days, and he rarely spent it at home. Speaking of the cemetery, he hadn't gone anywhere near there since the funeral. Facing Rin or Obito after what he'd allowed to happen to his team felt wrong somehow. He felt for Naruto, who opted out of attending the service for Sakura and the other victims to avoid the upset his presence would have caused. Instead, the shunned genin had watched from afar. Kakashi, of all people, understood exactly what his two remaining teammates were going through. Sasuke was in pain too, but he had learned to mask it, in the same way his sensei had. Naruto wasn't so fortunate. Speaking of Sasuke, Kakashi was still coming to terms with the surreal experience of watching his poorest-mannered student make a public apology to the victims. While terse and flat from start to finish, Sasuke's "I'm sorry for my part in this, and all of the lives I took," was far more than his sensei would have expected from him on the best of days. Everyone did Sasuke the courtesy of hearing his statement out. Some tried their best to forgive him. Others, chiefly the Harunos, accused him of taking the heat that Naruto deserved. Most attendees remained visibly incensed, a few going as far as to throw things. Dodging should have been effortless, and yet Sasuke didn't. He allowed members of the crowd to pelt him with their choice methods of projectile punishment, then stepped aside and the service continued as scheduled. Kakashi tried to find and talk with him afterwards, but Sasuke disappeared the moment the event concluded. 2 days since, and he had seen neither hide nor hair of the Uchiha boy. Seems like in his own way, he's trying to atone. Later, inside his apartment, Kakashi dressed down to a shirt and underwear, collapsing onto his bed, more from mental than physical exhaustion. He turned and observed the 2 framed photos by the wall. One of his former team with Minato-sensei, and the other which depicted the current Team 7. He had put the picture face down after that day, but knowing what was underneath it still hurt him in a way he couldn't explain with words. He was one of the most lauded and sought-after jonin in all of the Hidden Leaf Village, and yet it was all a farce. Kakashi Hatake, infamous child prodigy of the Hidden Leaf Village, had failed his students. The magnitude of his blunder was immeasurable, and he could never undo the mistake. If only I'd been faster, he said to himself while looking up at the ceiling. If he'd been there a few minutes earlier, perhaps he could have diverted Naruto and Sasuke's attacks to minimize damage, or scooped Sakura up and saved at least her, if no one else, or countered the Rasengan and Chidori with ones of equal strength to cancel them out, enduring the brunt of the impact himself, or. All of the possibilities that came to mind were preferable to reality. Kakashi had grown accustomed to losing people, even started to anticipate it, believing that if he did, it would hurt less. But something about this particular loss felt different. Wrong. Innocent lives had been taken, due to negligence and overestimation of his students' reasoning and maturity. Sure, Naruto and Sasuke were capable ninja, but at the end of the day, they were still kids, entrusted with high-ranking jutsu meant for use in combat. Unsuspecting hospital rooftops were about as far from a combat zone as one could get. Kakashi's eyes watered as he whispered, "Forgive me, Sakura." The main shopping district of the Hidden Leaf Village was bustling with activity. On the outside, it was just as sprawling with life as always. However, closer inspection revealed that many smiles were faked. Parents held their little children's hands a tad tighter than they ordinarily would have. Merchants didn't drag out small talk. The customers appeared all the more grateful for this mercy, departing the moment their purchases were complete. One shop was seeing considerably more business than the rest, and for good reason. Shikamaru Nara ducked around a courier who was balancing a crate over one shoulder and stepped into the Yamanaka flower shop. He kept his hands nestled deep within his pockets. Striding up to the front desk, a girl with eyes that were a striking aquatic blue was handing over the last of 3 flower arrangements to a customer with a cart. He accepted the basket, loaded it up on the cart, and went on his way with a terse thanks that sounded less than genuine. The girl never lost her glowing smile. She noticed the long line of customers petering out and took a relieved breath, letting her blonde ponytail fall across one shoulder. "Rough day," Shikamaru joked, sidling up to the edge of the counter. "Oh, Shikamaru, when did you get here?" "Hey, just now. I missed you with all of the... She gestured in the direction of the store that was packed with people. "Let me finish up these last few, and we'll talk, okay?" He bowed out and watched her serve the remaining patrons. Ino worked like lightning. She took a rough, poorly defined idea of the kind of flowers her customer was seeking and picked out a stunning arrangement in no time. Then she did it again, and again, and again. Each time Shikamaru counted for the fun of it, and he was shocked to find she was shaving seconds off her time with each purchase. "Women are scary," he opined, shuddering at her inhuman knack for customer service. Maybe the Yamanaka clan's mind transfer jutsu extended beyond its use in combat. They seemed to be natural mind readers when it came to things like this, too. Ino turned to focus on him as the last person in her queue exited the store. Other, more independent shoppers devoted themselves to selecting their own arrangements from among the many colourful rows of flora. "So, what made you stop by here?" she asked, joining him by the wall. "I wanted to ask when you're off today." "At 1, I'm working part-time today." "Why?" "Choji and I are gonna go see Naruto." Her face contorted. "Naruto? Why are you two going over to his place?" Shikamaru shot her a look. She returned the favour. "Come on, Ino. It's not fair to hold what went down against him." Ino proceeded to busy herself with stacking a few empty flower pots. He saw through her attempt at avoiding his statement, but didn't call her out. She finished the mundane task and moved on to another, only stopping when his insistent grunt drew her attention. "Ino," he breathed, a stern eye fixating on her. "What?" "You know what." "All I know is Sakura is dead because of what happened that day. We may have fought a lot, but she was my friend. And it isn't just her. Business has tripled since then. Families of the victims have been coming here in droves, so not only did Naruto's little stunt with Sasuke get people killed, but it cost us a lot. Our inventory can't keep up with the demand. Ino, we've had to start requesting deliveries from other shops before we can even finish arrangements. Do you know how much time that takes? How expensive that is?" "No, of course I don't know about stuff like that. I get it. This is a drag for all of us. Maybe your family most of all, but..." "He hurt Sasuke!" Ino said with a glare. Shikamaru dug deep for the willpower to suppress the eye roll he was itching to perform at the mention of his entitled peer's name. "Naruto's been making us pay for his screw-ups since day 1 at the academy. All that's changed is now he's doing it as a shinobi. Did you know they had to set Sasuke's jawbone and collarbone? Lady Tsunade almost wasn't able to save him, he lost so much blood." "That's not fair. Naruto got hurt too. They shared the blame. Fights take 2 participants, Ino." "Well, whatever. I'm still not going." She turned her back and folded her arms. "I have nothing to say to that menace." Shikamaru had half a mind to reach out and touch his agitated comrade on the shoulder. Instead, he put the fleeting idea out of his mind and headed out. Bothering girls when they had their minds made up like this always ended one way, if his mum and dad's interactions were anything to go by. "We'll wait for you until 1:15, in case you change your mind." He didn't stay to hear her reply. The door swung shut. Unseen to Shikamaru, Ino choked back a sob. Thank you all for indulging yourselves in the story thus far. I hope you enjoyed it. Now, there are a few more things that I'd like to go over before the video ends. Firstly, we've got a primary channel called We the Celestials. We the Celestials is what we do here already, but their content is centered around the crazy world and lore of My Hero Academia. So please, check us out over there if you're feeling in the mood for a roller coaster of quirky content. We also have another relative to our channel, Anime Deep Dive. Anime Deep Dive goes deep into the facts and lore of a wide variety of anime. It's guaranteed to expand your weeb knowledge of all kinds of series. On behalf of We the Celestials, I'd like to thank everyone involved in the production of today's awesome content. Their details will be in the description below. If you're perhaps interested in what we do here at WTC, then I would like to extend an invitation to join the team. The only caveat being that we only accept members 16 and older to join our crew. You can find us on our Discord, which you can locate in the description below. Our Discord is an all-around fantastic place to be, whether you're a fan or looking to join our band of misfits. All you gotta do is hit up the recruitment server and sign up for whichever category of work that fulfills your interests. We're always looking for members to join us. Well, that's it from us for today's video, so thank you all for watching and have a great day.